Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. I'm Reverend Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
I'm Sheila Fossen.
I'm Greg Fossen. We do the broadcast production.
I'm Dr. Ernestine Garcia doing the readings today.
And I'm Angie Katz, here to provide some music for your journey.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, everyone.
So would you start us with that?
I would. So I just invite you to close your eyes and take a nice, refreshing, cleansing breath. As we recognize there is one power, one presence, one life, one infinite intelligence in, as, and through everything, everyone, all of the time. And so I know that this day is blessed and each one of us here is a blessing. And so in absolute gratitude for each person here helping us today, each person here in person, each person watching us online, and those who watch us online later, we appreciate you too. Thank you so much. And we're just so grateful for this day, grateful to know that this word is done in the mind of God. So I let it go, I allow it to be, and together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
All right. Angie Cat, so wonderful to have you on our team.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be on the team.
Yeah. So what you got for us?
I've got a song that I wrote called Shadow of a Doubt, and it's all about, when we're having those difficult moments where we can't seem to believe in our good. This is reminding us that we have that power. So I'm going to do that for you now.
Wonderful.
Huddled in the corner, cold wind knocking at the door. Go away, tell the wolf, I don't live here anymore. Can't see a way out, they say there's a way within. But my eyes have been blinded by what has been. How much more can I take? How much longer till I wait? There's a storm in my mind. Let the rain heal this drought. Help me see beyond the clouds, beyond the shadow of a doubt. Every day's a struggle, praying for some relief. More questions than answers, but I don't question my belief. The ground I stand is shaking, heart is broken in two. The cracks in the foundation are where the light comes shining through. How much more can I find? Will I see it through the darkness of this night. There's a storm in my mind. Let the rain heal this drought. Help me see beyond the clouds, beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Oh, wow.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
We're so blessed to have you on
Thank you.
part of the service. Thank you so much.
That was amazing.
Yeah, good choice of song, too.
Thank you.
We're going to take care of some business and we'll be back to you shortly.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Okay.
So, like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro, and check out our website, cslnorthmetro.org.
Mhm.
You can go to contact us and add yourself to the email list. You can request a prayer and we'll pray on it all week. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there. I don't think I put your new blog up yet, did I?
No,
Oh,
just make it for February.
so it's on me now. So you can, there's just a lot of stuff out there. All of the affirmations and things that we do are out there. So today's title is Believe It or Not. And you already heard from our amazing, amazing, inspirational guest artist, Angie Cat. And today's reading is from The Sacred Yes, as revealed to Reverend Deborah L. Johnson.
She kind of, it's like channel this book.
Right. That's why she said as revealed instead of written by, right?
Yeah,
Is she still a minister in Santa Cruz?
as far as I know.
That's what I thought.
So we're going to bring forth the wonderful, beautiful, magnificent Dr. Ernestine.
You're too kind.
Oh, sound.
Thank you. We'll start with the affirmations. Affirmations for the week of January 22nd, 2023, written with love by Stephan Anthony. Please repeat after me. My heart is loving, compassionate, and wise always.
My heart is loving, compassionate, and wise always.
I begin each day acknowledging how good it is to be alive.
I
Begin each day acknowledging how good it is to be alive.
By simply existing, I am worthy of love and happiness.
By simply existing, I'm worthy of love and happiness.
The pathway to inner peace and self-acceptance is open to me now.
The pathway to inner peace and self-acceptance is open to me now.
Every day, my consciousness grows and expands with ease and grace.
Every day, my consciousness grows and expands with ease and grace.
The light of pure spirit illuminates my way forward.
The light of pure spirit illuminates my way forward.
And together we say,
And so it
is.
Okay, as Reverend Valerie mentioned, today's reading is from the book, The Sacred Yes, by Reverend Deborah L. Johnson. Stop building so much and start birthing. When a divine idea comes to you, allow yourself to be impregnated with its seed. The seed has within it all that it needs to be what it must be. It only needs to be planted in a fertile place. Let your mind become fertile ground for my divine ideas. Don't let your anxieties about producing and succeeding interfere with the sacred work of being a spiritual gardener. Learn how to work with the spiritual elements instead of trying to control them. Trust that the seed knows what it is to be and that you do not have to coax, coerce, bribe, threaten, or manipulate it into being what it is intended to be. Stop questioning and challenging the need for gestation and start honoring this sacredness of unfoldment. All things mature and materialize on time and in time, according to their own nature. Don't hurry your harvest. You cannot make divine ideas come into alignment with your needs and expectations. No, you must align with the way things are. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just had all my notes fall on.
Oh, well, you can pick
Yeah.
them up.
Yeah. Thank you, Ernestine. Ah,
Good thing we get some more music.
yes.
That gives you time to put them back.
That's a dull moment with me.
It's fun.
That's true.
It's wonderful. All right. This next song is You Better Believe It, written by me. And again, it's all about, you know what, if you want to see that seed grow, you've got to believe it. So here
Awesome.
we go. Yeah, here we go. I was feeling so incomplete, caught up in a cloud of self-defeat, just going through the motions again, wondering when my ship was coming in. Inside a voice said, what's bringing you down? You've convinced yourself there's no way out. Are you looking for someone to blame? Blind to the part you play in this game. You say you want a better life, better believe it. Good fortune on your side, you better believe it. Whatever fills you up inside makes you feel alive. If you want to change, start with your mind. You better believe it. I thought what you see is what you get, but that's a lie that helped me to forget. My life's designed by no one else. So now it's time I told myself. You say you want a better life, you better believe it. Good fortune on your side, you better believe it. A love that fills you up inside makes you feel alive. If you want to change, start with your mind. You better believe it. Don't want to cry about it, lie about it, tell a story about it, make excuses about it. And I heard what you gonna do, what you gonna do, what you gonna do. You say you want a better life, you better believe it. Good fortune on your side. Oh, you say you want a better life, better believe it. Good fortune on your side, better believe it. Love that fills you up inside makes you feel alive. If you want to change, start with your mind. If you want to change, start with your mind. If you want to change, start with your mind. Oh, you better believe it. You just gotta believe it. You know I'm gonna believe it. Ooh, believe it.
Woo-hoo. I believe. You convinced me.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I woke everybody up this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. We're We're here, we're alive, we're awake, we're aware, and we're ready to go. I started out this day fumbling with my notes and trying to get it straight in my mind. So I'm going to just wing it. You all remember that thing? What was it? It was called Believe It or Not. You remember that?
Ripley's?
Yeah, Ripley's Believe It or Not. Well, I can remember the TV show, and I had some of the comic. They had it in comic book form. I had that, and I think they had books, and it was on the radio, and they had all kinds of museums around the country. They actually had one in Estes Park for a while, but it closed.
One in San Francisco?
Yeah, that's the one I went to, the one in San Francisco. And you're asked to believe the stuff that they show you, and it's kind of way out there. A lot of stuff, it's bizarre, and it's fun, and we ask ourselves, do I believe this? And we have the chance of saying, well, maybe or maybe not. And it's true in our teaching. We learn these principles that we can use. We learn how to use them. We learn how to change our life, so we can expand into our soul's ever-growing evolution. And it's a good thing, but we don't just accept it for it is. We don't accept it as just knowing that it's true. There's a journey there. There's a stepping stone from belief into knowing. The stepping stone to I believe this, and moving into this I know this. And my knowing isn't in the absolute, because your knowing may be different. We could be practicing the same principles, but our journey is so different that any part of any principle can be outpictured in different ways. As there are many people, there are different ways that we can see these principles working in our lives, and they do work in our lives. So when we move into that realm of belief, we're asked we're not asked to, we decide to take a journey of our own personal knowing of any principle. Say, take the principle of abundance. That was a big challenge for me because, as I shared before, I went through this horrible divorce where I lost part of the business. I lost all of the business that my ex-wife and I were in, and things just got worse because I ended up not paying taxes for 2 or 3 years. I ended up maxing out all my credit cards, and then I came to this place called Agape, which was the spiritual center, and I heard this wonderful man saying all this stuff, and it was hitting me. The things he was saying was hitting me like, yeah, I can believe that, and yeah, I can believe that, or well, I think I can believe that, but I'm not sure. Like, I am one with God. God dwells within me. That was a challenge at first to accept, because all my learning was from Catholicism, and not that they're not mystic, but the way we learn is just different, and it's more of like rules and regulations as opposed to a process. The real blessing in this teaching is it's a process, and we all have our own journey in this process. We're all making our own mistakes. We're all finding our own ahas, and that process all started with the belief. And as I took classes and kept growing, my belief for different principles, say abundance, started shifting, because it was shifting in my physical realm. I could see abundance around me. New car, prosperous job, just everything going so well. Paid off my taxes, paid off my credit cards. I don't know how I did that. because, again, I had to just believe for it to be true. And it turns out that I know this principle now. And there's so many other principles that each one of us are on this journey to learn. And it's all good all the time. When I first came into religious science, I was a real skeptic. I had a friend named Lucille Benson who was a character actress, and I had moved to Los Angeles to pursue my acting career. And I met her, and she was in the Academy where she got to help vote for people winning Academy Awards. Anyway, she needed somebody to drive her around and go to places. And I was a young guy, and she was fairly a lot older than me. But we had this wonderful friendship. And she would come to a place, like we'd go to a restaurant before we go see a movie. And she'd come to a place, and there wasn't a parking space available. Parking in LA is hard. So she said, just go around the block one time. There'll be a space when I get back. It happened. We drove around the block and there was a space. And I was like, woo, that's a little woo-woo for me. But she turned me on to this church up on Sunset Boulevard. And I went there, and I thought I was in Heathenville because everybody was talking about praying for stuff. And to me, that was the journey that I didn't want to be in, because I was head over heels and not having stuff. And I didn't want my spiritual journey to be about getting stuff. So I was judgmental on that. I'll admit it. And not many, but a few years later, I was in this fundraiser performing, and before we had rehearsals, they had this party, and to kick off the fundraising. And so I was there, and I was talking to this woman, and she was very sophisticated, dressed to the kilt, and we started talking about religion, and we got into depth, and she said, well, you should go over to this place called Agape. You'll really like it, because I can hear from what you share about yourself that you would fit right in there. So I said, okay. So she gave me a card and said, just call me when you want to go. So I don't know, 6-8 months went by. That card was sitting on my dresser. And I said, I think I want to go call this woman. So I called her, and she says, well, I'm going to be out of town, but just go over there. You don't need me to take you over there. So I went there, and heaven. I thought I went to heaven because there was so much love in that place. And I'd drive up through people saying, hey, how you doing? Why don't you park over there? And coming through the door, people giving you hugs. And it's like, wow, this place is magnificent. So I got fairly close seat in the middle, and the minister started talking, and everything he said I could relate to on this higher level. It's like something mystically shifted where I was and brought me to this higher level. And I had gone to a Unity church like just a couple of weeks before that, and I didn't relate to it because, again, it was more Jesus-y than I was comfortable at that time, because I was having problems with my religion. So finding this place was like finding my way through the darkness that I'd always been looking for. And everything that this minister would say, I'd say, I believe that. I believe that to be true. And something shifted in my attitude towards this religion, because I realized that what it is that we all get from this teaching is different. And there's different levels that we move through on our journey to awakening and becoming more aware. So we move from each awareness of self and where we are on self the journey of self. And anybody that's praying for a new house, they need that to show them that it is possible and this stuff works. So proving to myself that I was an abundant being, a prosperous being, and working on that belief. So it was absolutely engraved in my mind and my heart. That journey took me into knowing, to the absolute knowing. So it's one should always remember that believing is a stepping stone to knowing. You go from belief to being convinced to knowing. And when you have your own personal knowing, it isn't necessarily the knowing in a sense of absoluteness. It's the knowing of where I am on my journey and how far I've come and how far I can still go. Because we all can go a long ways. I'm going to do a little experiment later after you talk.
Okay.
So I think I've said enough.
So I just looked at this and decided I need to just get out my Science Mind book and go back to the first 3 chapters that talk about the thing itself and what the thing is and how it works. And so I have just a few quotes and then I talk about it. One of them is, the life we live is the universal life expressing through us. Else how could we live? Our thought and emotion is the use we make, consciously or unconsciously, of this original creative thing with capital T that is the cause of everything. Therefore, we shall say that the mind, spirit, and intelligence, which we find in ourselves, is as much of this original creative God as we understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we all have our own paths on how we get to this place and how we decide to become religious scientists. And when we get that, there's nothing outside ourselves that's creating who we are.
Mm.
It feels like it sometimes because we allow that, but it's actually our belief. And whether it's a parking space or whether it's something big like a job or it's all, in order for us to do it, we have to believe it. And the more we take classes, the more we read the books, the more we come to Sunday services, the more we talk about it, and experience it. We have to experience it in our own life. And I remember you saying in class that the first thing to do is listen to that still small voice that's there all the time. And not the one that's saying, oh, you're bad, you shouldn't have, you can't do that, it's never going to happen. No, not that one. Don't listen to that one. Listen to the one that says, you should read this book, or you should go to this place, or you should turn right now, or you should. I just, it's funny because once you get used to listening to it, it's hard to remember what it says anymore. But I can remember, and I know I've told this before, but I can remember one day going out the door and I knew I was running late and I was going to be late for work. And the little voice said, you should take your camera today. And I thought, but I'm going to be late, and so I'm just not going to do that. And that's before cell phones had cameras, and it didn't make any difference. So who arrived at our center that day? I was working at the center as the administrator of the center we were at the time, and Michael and Ricky Beckwith, Ricky Byers, and I didn't have a camera. That was the number one thing that said, I imagine some of those little things are just like tests. Like, you should turn right here, or you shouldn't go there, or you should turn left right here. But that particular day, it's like, so there really is something in there that knows what I need to know, that's telling me what I need to know. And it's really important that I listen, not just to the big things, but to every little thing, because we never know. It's like when I'm going down the street and I think I have my route planned, and the Spirit says, you should turn right here. I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't done it. I don't know if I would have had a wreck or if I would have gotten there. And it doesn't matter, because once we get used to listening to the internal guidance, then that's just how we live our lives now. Yes?
Yes.
And because that's one of the things I remember the most. And then when we were talking about prosperity, when I was in ministerial school, I had a classmate that was an accountant, and she said, she was talking about tithing and things, and she said, I'm an accountant, and I still can't figure out how it works that when I tithe, when I follow these principles, there's more than enough in my bank account, and I'm afraid if I sit down and figure it all out, it won't add up, and yet it always does.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the experiment with
Well, and that's why I said that, because she's an accountant and she's saying that these spiritual principles absolutely work. And so he also said, our belief sets the limit to our demonstration of a principle, which of itself is without limit.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things we talk about in class all of the time, and I know you've already all heard it, but I'm going to say it again. We teach the thing about the soil and the plant and the seed. And so we're always planting seeds. And if we're planting seeds of doubt and disbelief and self-limitation, that's what we're growing. Just like if we planted celery seeds in the ground and we watered it nice and took care of it, we wouldn't get carrots, we would still get celery. And so it's really, really important for us to take inventory to those thoughts that are running through our heads, those ones that say, I can't, I'm not good enough, I won't be able to do it, and on and on and on. And listen to the ones that say, you can. And also, once you're listening, it kind of tells you the next step and the next step and the next step. And sometimes there are things that I can't imagine that I could have known.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I did, and I could, and I can. So when we actually know that the universe is present right here, right where we are, and that it's always, always for our good, and we begin to accept more good than we had yesterday, when we begin to know that today is going to be better than yesterday, then we begin to work the principles and begin to understand that there is a power for good, that it is right within us, and it does express itself through our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So he also says the thing then works for us by working through us, and it is always for us. It cannot work in any other way. So when I'm thinking I can't, and it's saying I can, and I'm believing I can't, I'm going to experience that thought. When I change my thought around to I can, and I'll be guided, then that's my truth.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to do your thing now?
Well, I was just thinking, when you just shared that, to me, that's God loving me. When I make the breakthroughs to the other side of where I was, talking about it, say abundance again, when I make that breakthrough, it's so clear to me how God loves me, how much God loves me, that like a good parent, it allows me to make my mistakes It allows me to have my doubts. It allows me to be misguided. And it still loves me because it's always present, waiting for me to wake up to it. And I say it because God is both female and male, but really neither, because God is more than that. So for me, the word "it" works with a capital I, because it's divine. It's divine intelligence. It's invisible creation. It's the whole universe and everything that's in it. So to me, that's a divine it, perfect, whole, and complete in its formation. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just take a few seconds and bask in the silence. Can you feel your heartbeat? There are no aches and pains in your body anymore. Can you smell what's in the room? Are there any sounds that are prominent in your hearing? How are you feeling in this moment? Are you happy? Are you sad? Where is your mind? Is it processing something? If so, let it go. Just picture your mind as empty, as an empty receptacle, waiting to receive whatever it is that's going to be put into it. And I want you to think of this question I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask it in the first person, meaning I, and just make that I your I. And as I ask this question, I want you to not try to do anything with it. Just be aware of whatever comes through each time. Just be aware of what's taking place. So I ask, do I believe I'm a child of God? Do I believe I'm abundant and prosperous? Do I believe I'm healthy? Do I believe I'm loved? Do I believe I'm more than I think I am? Do I believe I have something to offer to this world? Do I believe I can fulfill my divine purpose? Do I believe in God? Do I believe in love? Do I believe in my creative force? Do I believe I have power? Do I believe I belong? And no matter what you got, know that the answers to these questions can change from day to day. If one question stood out more than the others, just be with that all week. We've talked about the boot, the root and reboot. Well, ask that question that stood out for you throughout the day and see where it takes you. And so now I recognize that there's one power, one presence, one infinite eternal spirit. It is loving, it is peaceful, it is harmonious, it is joyous, it is entertaining, it is creative, it is inspiring, it is powerful, it is strength, it is unlimited possibilities. It is my life, it is your life. It is the life of God. Right where each one of it is, its entirety is present as our lives, both individually and collectively. God is, and that's all that there is. eternal life. Our life and God's life is one life. And so I bless each and every one of us that have joined here together, knowing for you right where you are, that if there's a health challenge, the body temple responds to this word and starts healing itself. If there's financial challenges, know that the mind in its power overcomes the physical evidence, that your evidence is God's evidence. If there's any sort of other challenge that you're going through today, just ask, what do I believe about this challenge? And that answer will either guide you, expand you, or it'll give you the realization of a wrong answer. Because your answers are always, yes, I am this. I am power. I am God's child, made in its likeness and image, and forever expanding into my good, forever expanding into my life force that is more than this body temple. And so I send out blessings across this planet, calling forth peace that humanly we don't always understand, but spiritually it's there. And we tap into this moment. We hold together, we join all those that are holding prayer for Ukraine, that war is ended and a new era takes place. And we send out love and light to all those places on the planet where there's conflict, whether it's in Africa or in Europe or the United States or South America, wherever it is, we're sending out healing power to all those countries and all of the people that live in it. And so, knowing that these words I speak cannot come back void, that they must fulfill themselves in God's space, in God's time, I can now release the word with an overwhelming sense of joy that this is done right here and right now. So all that's left for me to do is release and simply say, and so it is.
And so it is. Amen, Amen, Aho,
Ashe.
Ashe, and woo-hoo!
All right, this song is called I Am the Thinker, and it's all about your personal power. Here we go. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. Sing it with me. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. If you ask me, who am I am wisdom, I am light. I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. Again, I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. If you ask me, what am I am beauty, I am joy. I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. Oh, I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I can choose to see the light that brightens someone's darkest night. I'm so much more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. Yeah, yeah. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. It changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. Again, I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. It changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life.
Woohoo! That's an original?
No, that's by my friend Sue Riley.
Oh, well, thank you, Sue, and thank you, Angie.
Thank you.
Loved it. We're going to do a little business and we'll get back to your final song.
Sounds good.
So we talk about abundance and prosperity all the time. And it's one of the main principles that a lot of people come into this teaching seeking more prosperity in their lives. Well, with the principle of prosperity, the number one law is give. Give and you shall receive. And we're offering an opportunity for one method of giving by seeing this basket and seeing your gift in it and seeing it multiplying, coming back to you, and knowing that it's all good and that you cherish becoming part of this sinner's work, which is to make a better place in the world for all who live in it. So I invite you to, do you need to say something first?
Yeah.
Okay. I invite,
Well, are you going to bless it now?
Yeah.
Well, I need to tell them how to give first.
yeah, that's
I
okay.
didn't realize that's what you're doing next. So you see the Venmo QR code on the screen. If you use Venmo, you can just go right to that. You can go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and there's a couple ways to give out there. You can give one time, you can set it up to give regularly, and also our address is on the website. If you're comfortable with checks, we take those too.
Mhm.
And we take cash, but you'd have to come here to give us that. That
That'd
would
be
be good
good
too. Yeah,
We want to meet you.
that's right.
So shine your light towards the basket, holding your palms up and letting your energy flow. And repeat after me. I am a creative force.
I am a creative force.
I am the God child in its fullness.
I am a God child in its fullness.
I'm everything and everyone.
I am everything and everyone.
From this place of knowing my oneness,
From this place of knowing my oneness,
I send out love and light,
I send out love and light,
knowing prosperity for all.
knowing prosperity for all.
I give thanks
I give thanks.
and I let it be.
I let it be.
And so it
And
is.
so it is.
That being done, we're ready for another song.
We are.
And
All right. We're going to end with the ultimate song about believing, Imagine by John Lennon.
Oh.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us on the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. Hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. Wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. Hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. Hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
You got the voice.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
You have the voice of an angel.
Thank you.
It's such a beautiful tone.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I
Love
love
singing
it.
for you.
What?
I said I love singing for you.
Oh, thank you. We love it too.
Yeah. So, any parting shares? Or,
Thank you for a wonderful message as always.
Well, I would like to share a quote from one of her songs that says, if you want to change, start with your mind.
Yeah.
what?
Good place to start.
Change.
Place
Yeah.
to start, right?
Yeah.
I really liked your message of the difference kind of between believing and then knowing is really different. Love it.
Else
Good.
believe, yeah.
Great message. Great messages. And great music.
Thank you.
So you want to talk about?
Yeah, to join us on Zoom.
Mhm.
So the Zoom link is in the comments, and we'd love to have you join us on Zoom. We have a good time there after the service. And if you didn't find it there, it is on our website, and it's in the calendar that's got the links and stuff for today's service. So if you signed on from there, you would know where that link is anyway. So let's see. If you're not already getting our emails, you can sign up online for the email list, and then you'll get our emails of the things that are going on.
Yep.
So, that's it.
So would you like to pray us out?
Sure. And then we'll see you on Zoom afterwards. Easy for me to say. All right. So I just invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. As we give thanks for all of the blessings in our lives.
Mhm.
We give thanks for the blessing of being together online and in person. We give thanks for absolutely knowing that these principles that we teach work and that we get to be the ones that proves it in our lives. We're so grateful. Grateful for all the good in our lives. Grateful for this chance to be together. And so I absolutely know this word is done in the mind of God. I let it go. I release it. I allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And join us on Zoom. We'd love to see you.
Yes.
All right.
Bye,
We'll see you
Bye,
on
everybody.
Zoom.
Have a great week.
All right. You too.
too.
See you on Zoom.
Okay.